Divya and my student ID is 22040702. Today our group is presenting the transferring of Toyota lean cultural onto India from Japan. The group members are Divya, it's me, Karamjit Kaur, Harpreet Kaur, Gurdeep Kaur and Harpreet Singh. Firstly, I will discuss about leadership. Leadership and management are two concepts to leading an organization through changes and guiding them towards a common goal. The study will focus on Toyota's organization's cultural and leadership approach, its international approach to India. A comparative view will also be constructed based on India and Japanese context. The next slide is evolution of management practice favored by Toyota and its way for international expansion. Toyota way is supported by two main pillars. The first one is respecting people, like customer satisfaction and meeting demands of employees. The next one is continuous improvement, like making R&D, investment on new technology, techniques of productivity. Generally, the organization follow four phases of internationalism that include strategies analyze, shareholding investment, export strategies, and foreign direct investment. However, management of Toyota has put a long emphasis on its production system and made two pillars through its internal values respecting production system and on continuous improvement. These strategies have helped the company to make an effective approach to expanding its business in a cross-border environment. The smoother introduction of human resources management policies and practices aiding the international transfer situation. Toyota has localized production and it puts the Toyota's production system. Thank you. The next slide will be discussed my friend Karanjit Kaur.
Hello, my name is Karanjit Kaur. My student ID is 22041230. My slide 1 is evaluating the impact of their approach on employees and human resources. Actually, the lean management practice effectively allow the hierarchical management of Toyota to implement two factors of lean human resources management process, which effectively help to involving the employees in managing the decision-making process. In this process, the management practice effectively help to implement the factors of flexible human resources, policies, and the practical rules across national boundaries. In these studies by Deskai suggest that these approaches effectively help to improve the process of managing the organization culture and workplace environment. In this slide, the flexible human resources policy and practical across national boundaries, lean culture and a lean manufacturing process. In the next slides, the theoretical evaluations of leadership and the management practical to the case study. In this case study, according to the study by Goldman, the leader with the organizational settings need to focus on managing their decision-making process through the considering the external situations and consider factors within the fielding continuously models. In this organizations, there's two leadership behavior oriented. First is product and second is employees. And in this organization, they are allowed to their workers, their employees to make the decision and also share their thoughts that will help to enhance the success of the organization. In the next slides, the hierarchical management followed by Toyota. Considering the approaches of Toyota, it has been identified that the vertical management within Toyota is focusing on implementing the approaches of inclusive leadership through implementing uh, collaborate, uh, collaborate approaches of advanced decision-making process. According to the human-related theory of management, this can be said that organization can improve its productivity by creating a positive environment through strong bonds and acknowledging its effect within the work plan environment. Toyota has made its own management policy and combined them within ISO 16000. After that, through its CSR approaches and vertical management structure, Toyota is found to be effective in making a more inclusive and a controllable work plan. In this environment, to make every employee motivate and knowledge based on their performance through a hierarchical structure. And in this organization, it's the responsibility of human relation theory put in employees on their results, behavior, and needs of human beginning. So next story should be like described by my next friend.
Hello, my name is Harpreet Kaur. My student ID is 2204272 and my slide is Toyota approach to expansion to India. Toyota has implemented the approaches of developing local manufacturing units and production facilities in India. According to the studies by Davy, Toyota has implemented low-cost hybrid models to enhance its market shares. The organization, which name is Toyota, has implemented the approaches of cross-culture communication processes and negotiation processes, which have effectively helped to improve the operational management activities for managing the Indian consumers' approach. And the next slide is theoretical evaluation of cross-border leadership. Cross-culture competition is needed. For the companies like Toyota, the organization should put a strong emphasis on fostering cross-border leadership within its business operational environment to strengthen its positive workplace environment. According to the Goldman's emotional intelligence theory, this is the capability to guide and grasp the sensitivity and power of emotion to influence a particular human behavior. And according to the theory of value dimension, countries and their culture, difference in various factors, including power distance, uncertainty, avoidance, masculinity, individualism, and others. Hence, the leaders also need to understand the cultural context to establish effective leadership within the cross-border business to value every individual's need and enhance productivity. And the next slide is evaluating cultural aspect of cross-border organization culture. In this slide, the hierarchy management within Toyota and cultural exchange theory. According to the studies by Keratin and Green, hierarchical management within organization need to focus on implementing the approaches of allowing employees from diversified backgrounds and cultures, which effectively help to manage a positive theoretical perspectives. And Toyota has implemented the cultural exchange due to the cultural exchange theory, which is effectively impact on the managing the organization culture. The hierarchical management within Toyota follows the approaches of implementing cultural exchange. According to the studies by Keratin and Garin, managing dynamic culture diversity effectively helps to implement a positive organization culture. Toyota has implemented innovative cross-culture training and development programs for employees to cope up within the cross-border organization culture. In the next slide, the cultural aspect of cross-border organization leadership. Innovative and cross-culture communication strategies implemented by the hierarchical leaders within Toyota and culture diversity network model as well as the channel ratio culture growth. It means according to the studies by Panthers, organization need to evaluate the risk management processes for managing cross-culture communication processes. The channel ratio culture model suggests that organization need to implement the factors of team effectiveness, culture uncertainties, and culture empathy. Therefore, considering the factors, it can be summarized that Toyota needs to focus on implementing innovative cross-culture communication processes by introducing culture empathy processes. according to the studies by scientists, in order to improve this cross-cultural communication processes. In this case study, in order to manage the internal trade processes and exchange management activities, the organization need to focus on improving the cross-cultural business communication processes. According to the studies by other APCA, the Sachin theory of organization culture represents the questioning assumptions and encouraging open communication processes for the growth of fostering and mindset. The organization has developed a cultural diversity network model to implement the factors of inclusion, diversity, and equity. The next slides will be presented by my friend Gurdeep.
Hello everyone, my name is Gurdeep Kaur and my student ID is 220444299. Today I will present the difference between Japan and Indian organization culture. So first we need to know what is organization culture. So organization culture is a collection of attitudes, beliefs, behavior that make up the regular atmosphere in a work environment. So now I am compare these two countries. If we talk about India, India mostly employee friendly culture because it focuses on the employees benefit and they give them opportunities to their self development, and India is also uh, entrepreneur in nature. If I talk about the Japanese companies use different kind of organization nature by using their technology and innovation which makes them competitive in nature. And there is also a theory of Levin's field, which says that there is an interrelation between human behavior, environment, and function. The influence of the work culture on the productivity has been recognized by the Indian organization culture to prioritize their activities in the organization. In the next slide, I will compare the employees' culture of Japan and India. For this, in this slide, we use abstract cultural model analyze. With this, we consider six dimensions. The first one is power distance, individualism, motivation towards success, and uncertainty, avoidance, long-term orientation, and the intelligence. So overall, we can see from the diagram that Japan score more than India in all the dimensions apart from the power distance. So the first topic is power distance. Power distance means the way of how an organization passed their information and communication. So we can say that Indian follow the hierarchy that they send their direction from top to the bottom to the employees, but Japanese follow the belief that they can have potential to involve in every decision making and they will in their relationship which boost their business trust. The second one is individualism, which means the individual or a collective mentality of a person. So in this India only scored 24, which means Indian employees mostly prefer to work in a groups, but Japanese score 62, which shows that they mostly work in individual. The third one is motivation towards achievement and success. So in this, Japan almost 40% score more than India. It means that they have a better motivation aspects than India to motivate their employees. The fourth one is uncertain avoidance and the long-term orientation. So in these we can say that Japanese have a focus on their long-term orientation and they make well-planned policy to avoid the uncertainty in their business. The final is intelligence, which means the tendency to involve in the impulse or to restrain from them. So we can see that both of the countries not involved in these activities and they focus on their responsibilities. In the next slide, I will explain the decision-making approaches of Toyota. The first one is unitarist, which means in this, all the company workers work for their same goal, and this technique is used by Japan. The next one is pluralistic. This technique used by Indian. In this, there are a lot of subgroups who work for different goals, but the fact to consider that there is a lot of risk of conflict in a pluralistic approach because there are multiple powers, multiple logics, and there are a lot of reference by uh, all the employees. So we can say that there is no chance of any conflict in a Japanese employee culture. That's it. The next slide will be explained by Harpreet Singh.
Hello, my name is Harpreet Singh and my student ID is 220406555. My group member have already discussed about management and leadership of Toyota, Toyota approach on employees and human resource, about Toyota production system, about expansion to India from Japan, their cross-border leadership and about their decision-making approach. We all know that Toyota has a large market share globally, but still they face challenge while expanding to India. So now I will going to cover the following topics: the challenges faced, change in management, outcome and the change made by Toyota, how Toyota transfers from Toyota production system to Toyota Indian production system, and finally the conclusion. First, I will going to discuss about the challenges faced by Toyota. So it can be seen that when company try to expand their business within or cross-border nation, the company face multiple issue and challenges. Toyota has faced number of challenges. First is the new cultural environment. Second, plant level people issue. Third, managing of price strategy. Fourth is supplier management. Fifth is quality management. If I consider new cultural environment, the environment as compared to Japan is totally different in India. In Japan, factors such as a homogeneous culture, a single language, and a single religious background is there, whereas India has a vice versa cultural environment. Plant level people issue. The managing director have to face a, in first in India, managing director have not a faith in starting, but after a few years they appoint new managing director and managers, which built a faith in employment in employers and the upper level management. Managing of price strategy. Toyota have to compete with their rival and have to make price strategy according to Indian automobile industry. Next one is supplier management. Toyota has faced supplier management problem and they have depend on the local suppliers which act as a trade unions. Last is the quality management. It is the significant issue for Toyota to manage the market dynamic in the Indian context, and Toyota has never compromised with their quality. So they always do research and development to build a good and new technology. Now I will discuss about changing management. As we can see in the definition by the Robert Somos that nothing is more important in a manager's armament than the capacity to successful effect change. So we can say that an organization, the most important thing is change. So the changes can be of two types. First is the external forces and second is the internal forces. So we have already covered all our topics in our lecture, and the external factors are like social, cultural, dynamical, political, economical, technological, etc. And if we consider the internal one, they are low performance, low satisfaction, no new mission, new leadership and conflicts is there. Now I will cover the evaluation and outcome and the changes made by Toyota. By considering the Lewis change model process, Toyota has implemented the approach of a low-cost market model. Toyota also implemented robotics in its production process to increase the speed of production and to get more emphasis and efficiency and effectiveness. They also formulate a training and development program for enhancing the digital competency of employee to absorb the change more efficiently. This is Kobler's-Ross change model. There are different stages of change. First is shock, second is denial, third is frustration, fourth is depression, fifth is experiment, and sixth is decision, and last is the integration. So when Toyota moved to India in first 3 years, they are not performing well, they are in shock period. Then they collect the evidence of their failure, and then they are very different as compared to Japan. Then they made a strategy like appointing new manager, done various experiments related to price and change in car models. They implemented the decision made and elaborate to their employees. And finally, their plan worked according to the time, and in 2015, they achieved their goal of 15% of market share. This is Cotta's chain model, and I will discuss how they transfer from Toyota production system to Toyota Indian production system. They recognize the power of trade union and formulate sweet trade union. There were lack of job security. Employees level leave their job without any notice, so they provided job security to the employee. They moved to centralized decision making and appoint new managing directors. They also increases the wages of employee so that employees can work efficiently. At last, I would say in conclusion that Toyota has prioritized the TPM model to internationalize its business in India. The India and Japan culture are totally different, from which cross-border leadership is needed. And Toyota has succeeded in its plan by following the lean management approach. These are our references, and thank you so much.